Okay, now on to elevations part 2, and it may get a little bit more complicated here because we're dealing with pitches, but you'll still need some of the same things you used in part 1. You'll need that, still need that floor plan, and you may have your wall section handy just in case, and we can continue on. Right now you've got all your perimeter defined except for this pitch of this roof here. Now we know from our floor plan that garage is 20 feet 8 inches, so half of that is 10 feet 4. So if we were to measure over with our scale at a quarter scale, 10 feet 4 inches, that's going, if you took that and just projected that lightly all the way up, you'll see where that roof is going to intersect here in just a few moments. So now we want to establish this pitch. Now we see here that is a elevation, that pitch is a 7 and 12. Let me see if I can explain to you what that means. It basically means that the rise is 7 to every 12. Let me see if I can draw that a little better for you. I'm going to do it freehand, but basically if you were that pitch, to determine it, that pitch that slopes like that, what it is, a 7 and 12 is, it means that for every if you went up 7 inches or 7 feet, it didn't matter, and over 12 inches or 12 feet, doesn't matter because it's the proportion, and you connected those 2 points right there, that would be the slope of the roof. It would rise every 7 inches for every 12 inches of horizontal run that it had, and we'll try to go over this a little bit in class too, but hopefully you'll catch on to that pretty quick. So what you want to do is you want to come here to that left hand side of that garage, that wall right there. You can go ahead and measure over, and we're going to have again a 12-inch overhang. So you're going to measure over, and you're going to draw that little piece of the fascia right there that butts into this other fascia. Again, remember the garage is sticking out, so that'll be a horizontal line there. But right there at the top where that horizontal is going to meet that, has met that vertical and will meet that slope, what I want you to do is go ahead and take your scale, and if you want to just keep it simple, and again, it doesn't matter what scale you're using because it's the proportion. If you were to measure right straight up, and I'm going to use an 8 scale just so I don't go off the page here. If I was to went right straight up from that point where the horizontal line met the vertical line, and on my 8 scale, again, it doesn't matter what scale you use, it's the proportion. I measured up 7, and I just projected a light line up there 7 feet tall, and then I was to come over and measure a line that is 12 foot long. It would very simply become my pitch at that point. I then have that rise of 7 and that run of 12, and all you have to do at that point is take your triangle and you put it where you started measuring your 7 there, put it on that point, and where that end of that 12-inch line that you drew horizontally, you just match those two up and you connected that line up to where you just measured where the center of that roof was. If you just did that, again, you're going to line it up here, line it up there, and just project it all the way up to the center line of that garage. You will have that roof pitch figured out at 7 and 12. Again, that is 7 and 12. Okay, you're not going to draw these lines in for real. That's 7 and 12. You're just going to draw that slope in, and you'll do the exact same thing on this side. You'll measure up 7 over 12, connect the dots, and form that pitch, and then you're going to offset about 6 inches to form the bottom side of that fascia. Again, you've already drawn this in at 7 and 12, and you're going to offset down from the top of that fascia down, that gable, 6 inches, form that fascia that's looking out at you there. And then of course you'll draw this bottom part of this fascia in, and then you'll come over about 6 inches and draw a horizontal or vertical line up, and 6 inches over from the edge of the wall over, about 6 inches, and wherever they intersect, it'll form that boxing on the end of the overhang. Now you're probably very, very confused at this point, and this is probably one of the harder things to try to do, but we're going to get you through it somehow. But the next thing I want you to do is go ahead and measure where you have all the windows and doors in place. So you know your garage door, which we said was going to be 16 foot wide. We know it's in the center of that which you've already established from your roof pitch down. You know where the center line of it is. If it's 16 foot wide, then basically you just draw over 8 feet and 8 feet, and you go ahead and tick that off at 16 foot wide. And a garage door, we're going to draw ours about 7 foot tall. So you measure up 7 foot and you draw that horizontal line in, and you already have drawn these two side points in, and then you're going to draw like 4-inch trim around it. So just offset 4 inches in the two directions, or the 3 directions, and draw that in. Then you're going to do the exact same thing for your door right here. We know that door is 4 inches from that wall over, because that's how we drew it in our plan. And then you're going to draw it 3 foot wide from here to here, and it is 6 foot 8 inches tall. So from that floor line, not from the ground line, from the floor line, draw it up 6 foot 8 inches, 3 foot wide, 4 inches from that corner, and then you're going to put that 4-inch trim around it as well. And then you're going to do the exact same thing for this window that we have drawn, and the windows are 3 foot wide, and that window as well is 3 foot wide. And you take those dimensions from your floor plan, which in this case is over from that line to the center line of that is 5 foot 9, and that window is 5 feet 10 and a quarter from the other side of this post right here to the center line of that. And then you just find out where you measure that and tick it off. You measure that and tick it off, and then you offset 1 foot 6 and 1 foot 6, 1 foot 6, 1 foot 6 on both sides of that. And again, that window head that we're drawing will be from that floor line up to that window head is 6 feet 8 inches tall. And go to your window schedule and see how tall that window was, and then you measure down from that window. You measure down from that window head to what it was is I don't remember if we said 5 or 5 foot 4, but it's on your window schedule as a W1. I think it may have been 5 feet tall. Measure down, and you should have rectangles in here now. Don't worry about the shutters or the buttons or the divide or the up and down part of it. We just want to get the parameters of the house itself configured. And so you should have a garage door opening, your front door, and your 2 windows drawn in as well. And then you would come over beside the windows, and you're going to draw window shutters that are 1 foot 6 inches wide. So go ahead and draw that part in. offset from the side of that window. 1 foot 6 over, 1 foot 6 over, the same height as the window. Do the exact same thing here, and then do the exact same thing over there, and as well in that direction as well. One other thing I want you to do in this session is, you see this gable vent right here. We've used a round one in this case, so you will need a circle template that you will draw. That part of the circle, the inside part of the circle, is approximately 2 foot in diameter, not radius, in diameter. And then so you're going to let's come down from the very peak of your roof down about 3 foot 6 to the center line of that circle, and you would draw a 2 foot diameter. Interior part of that is 2 foot diameter. Draw that circle in, and then the outside you just draw a 4-inch piece of trim around it, so you just add to that circle. We'll come back and add these other little parts on when we delineate the structure itself. So you should have at this point the entire perimeter of your, or balance of your elevation drawn, as far as the parameters of the width and height. You should have your fascias in, your sloping roof, your opening for your garage door, your opening for your front door, and your windows, and your shutters formed. Nothing's delineated with material yet. You just have your basic bones of the front elevation drawn in. So now's a chance, before we go to part 3, is you take a chance and just look at it, make sure it looks like the handout we gave you, and also double check all your dimensions before we get too far down the road and we can't make a correction. So now's the time to do that, and I'll see you in part 3 a little later.